everybody. Come on into the air condition. Oh, it's okay. Keep talking. I like it. Come on in, everybody. I hope your bellies are full. I know there's a lot more out there. Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Is it hot enough for you? I know, but luckily we have the pleasure of being able to be in this enclosed, air-conditioned room. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first annual Mt San Antonio College Parent Institute, hosted by CARE and CalWorks and sponsored by Associated Students. Woo, woo, woo! My name is Dr. Leticia Hagler, and I serve as the CalWorks Director, and standing to me is Dr. Julie Marquez, who serves as the EOPS Care Director. Thank you. Today is a special event, and we hope that you find today life-changing. There are so many individuals who were instrumental in making this a life-changing experience, and we want to just recognize the planning committee. If you're in the room, if you could just please stand. And if any of you have any questions, if you see anyone wearing one of these black shirts, please feel free to come to us. We're more than happy to answer any of your questions and ensure that today's experience is rewarding. And before we continue with the program, I'd like to remind everyone that the restrooms are located on the first floor in the lobby area. And at this time, we'll like to ask all of our guests to silence their phones.
Good morning, everyone. I cannot tell you how happy I am to see you all physically here. You know, for those joining us online, we also want to welcome you today. But today for us is an important day, not only because we are hosting the first annual Parent Institute, but also because it's one of our first events in person. And we know that many of you are survivors. You all made it through the pandemic, and you know, with children, it added a lot of extra challenges. So I want to commend you all for all that you did to persevere and be where you are today. So I want to give you all a very big round of applause. And by being here today, you all are demonstrating that you're determined to seek a better future for yourself and your children. And I hope that you all are very proud for making the time and space as a parent. You know, that can be challenging. And so I do definitely want to acknowledge that you all probably had to make a lot of arrangements to be here, and that we definitely appreciate all that you did to be here this morning. And know that we in the committee worked really hard to make this an event that's going to empower you and that's going to bring you hope. But also remember that as I was hearing students chat, that you all are very powerful and you all have a unique story and you all have had a unique path. And so I want to make sure that you all don't forget that even though we're highlighting a few students and alumni, you all are just as valuable and important to this program. And so we thank you for being here. And so without further ado, I'm going to welcome Carlos Romero to the front to honor the ancestral use of the land where we are gathered on.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Carlos Romero, and I am an EOPS student, and I'm here to say the land acknowledgement. At this time, I would like to take a moment to honor, acknowledge, reflect, express our sincere gratitude for and appreciation of peoples, ancestors, and sacred land that we gather upon today. I want to honor the ancestral homelands and traditional territories of indigenous people who have been here since time immemorable, and to recognize that we must continue to build solidarity and kinship with Native indigenous communities. Mt San Antonio College is based in the city of Walnut. In the Los Angeles Basin, we honor the Kizh Nation, the Hashimi Nation, and the Tongva tribe, and the village of Pimanka. We would also like to pay our respect to the land and life of indigenous people. The Huknuk-Viktam ancestors, the Ahihi-Rom elders, and the Iyihing-Kem are relative relations, past, present, and emerging. As all of our liberations are tied together, and so is our history, we also acknowledge that this country was built up from the free, enslaved labor of Black people, and we honor the legacy of the Black life. We pay respect to Black life, acknowledge, and skills stolen due to violence and white supremacy. Within this land, life, and labor acknowledgement, we also recognize a duty to give honor, do our work, and continue to stand up for racial and social justice every single day. Please join us. Please join us in a moment of silence and a collective breath. Thank you. And at this moment, I would like to present to Dr. Koji, our Dean of Student Life. Thank you.
All right, good morning. All right. It is so nice to see all of you. I am so excited to be here at Mount San Antonio College to welcome all of you. It's been a long time since we've had students in this space. So it's a beautiful view because you all look beautiful. So thank you for being here. Carlos, thank you very much for the very powerful land acknowledgement to honor the peoples whose land we share for today's Parent Institute. So my name is Koji Wesugi, and I serve as Dean of Student Services here at Mount San Antonio College. And I have the distinct honor of delivering the college welcome for today's very special event. So on behalf of our college president, Dr. Bill Scroggins, and our vice president of Student Services, Dr. Audrey Yamagata Noji, welcome to Mt SAC's first Parent Institute. Now I heard annual, right? So we're gonna do this every year. First annual, right? Okay. All right, and joining us today is a very special leader, and I don't know if she's here, trustee. Okay, so we have, so our college has a board of trustees, and this group of 7 individuals help lead our campus. So in addition to our college president, our vice presidents, the college board basically, they're our bosses, right? And it's through their leadership that we advance the mission of this college. So I want to thank them as well. I also want to welcome our very special guest, Professor Sade Burrell, whom we are so blessed to have as our keynote speaker. So can we just give her an applause? You haven't met her yet. She'll be introduced soon, but I am so excited that she is with us today, and we are all looking forward to her presentation shortly. Okay, so who could tell me the theme of today's Parent Institute? Just shout it out. Make it happen. Make it happen. That's right. And I hear it was inspired by a song with the same title. And no, I'm not talking about the Machine Gun Kelly version, but the original Mariah version from 1991. How many of you knew this song before hearing it today? Okay, we got a few hands. Okay, great, great. I think I was still in college when Make It Happen came out, so it's been a while, but it is no less powerful. And if you don't know this song and why it inspired the theme for today's institute, allow me to refer to a few lines from the song. And I want you to think about how it may relate to your experiences. I know I'm not going to sing it, so don't worry. I won't do that to you, okay, especially this early in the morning. I asked my wife and my daughters yesterday, so should I sing any of this? And they said, no. So I got my, they put a hard stop on it, so I won't do that. So she says, in part of the song, she says, I know life can be so tough, and you feel like giving up, but you must be strong. Baby, just hold on. You'll never find the answers if you throw your life away. If you believe in yourself enough, and you know what you want, you're gonna make it happen. Make it happen. I know you're gonna make it happen. Okay. So when I think of each of you as parenting students and the variety of challenges you face and strive to overcome each day, I have nothing but respect for you. Each of you are balancing your educational life and parenting life and have college experience unique from those college students who are not parents. You know, college is difficult for anyone, right? But especially with the responsibility of raising children, you know, that involves juggling the complexities of school, caring for your children, and possibly working. You may be looking out for other family members as well, in addition to your children, like maybe elderly in your family or other members of your community. And the list goes on. So I commend you and appreciate you for committing yourself to earning your degree or certificate to create a positive path forward for yourself and for your children's future. So I want you to give yourselves a hand. So let's do that, because you are doing hard work. According to a recent report titled Parenting While in College, and this is published by the Hope Center for College, Community, and Justice, it says, quote, roughly 1 in 5 college students provide primary care for at least one child while pursuing a higher education credential, unquote. And so the research goes on to say that parenting students show very strong commitments to education and excel at higher rates than other students when placed on a level playing field. And the economic and social returns on their education are particularly strong, accruing across generations. So it's not just what you're doing for yourself now, but it's for your children and their children, right? So it's generational. So basically what they're saying is that each of you should believe, as student parents, while you have unique challenges, you belong in college, and your investment of time, energy, and money in college is well worth it. Okay, so you may have doubts sometimes, right? Why am I doing this? I've got so much going on. Can I do this? Well, that's when you've got to think to yourself and believe these words that it is worth it. And fortunately here at Mt SAC, we've got plenty of people. You've got your faculty, you've got your staff, right? And your peers to support you. So we want to create the support system, right? To keep you going. So that's a big part of what this Parent Institute is about, is to inspire you, to support you, and to hear you, and make sure you know how valuable you are to our Mt SAC community. You are college students, and instead of the word student, I'm going to define all of you as scholars, right? Scholars, according to one definition, is a learned person, especially one who has profound knowledge of a particular subject, okay? Parenting requires a great deal of knowledge, a great deal of experience and skills, right? So even as you are learning in your classrooms, in your particular subject, and you are a scholar in the classroom, you are also a scholar as parents, right? You have particular knowledge that other people may not have, right? So refer to yourselves as scholars, right? And don't let anyone tell you anything less. Okay? Yes. So you are parent scholars in an excellent institution that has so much to offer. And I hope that by the end of today's institute, you feel how much our CalWorks, EOPS Care, and other members of Mt SAC care for you and your success. We really are here for you. Okay, so as I wrap up, you are in great hands in today's Parents Institute. I just looked at the program. You have a wonderful program outlined for you. And I want to let's give a hand to our keynote speaker, workshop facilitator, alumni panel, who you'll be meeting with soon. To our planning committee who put all this together. And let's also give a hand to our leaders, our program leaders in CalWorks, EOPS, and CARE, Dr. Hagler, Dr. Marquez, and Ms. Hernandez Figueroa. So throughout today and every day, remember these lyrics by Mariah Carey, especially when you need a little inspiration. If you believe in yourself enough and you know what you want, you're going to make it happen. Make it happen. I know you're going to make it happen. Thank you for allowing me to share this space with you, and have a wonderful time with your Mt SAC community. And I would now like to invite Ms. Maria Hernandez Figueroa up to the stage.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wesugi. I would have loved to hear you sing. Well, we feel your support. That was beautiful. I almost cried. To everyone here today, we are also happy to be here with you, and we are so happy to be surrounded by each other. But I am going to introduce Miss Sade Burrell. I was about to call her doctor. Sade Burrell is an associate professor at San Diego Mesa College and author of 3 books, What Are You Reaching For?, which you got today, The Opportunity Guide, and an ebook, Who's Paying for This? Sade is a mother of 2 amazing children and works extremely hard to create generational wealth. She has also been recognized throughout the state of California for her efforts to eliminate child abuse. Ms. Burrell has traveled the country, impacting the lives through her story of resiliency and overcoming obstacles as a person who experienced foster care. Her advocacy has led to the passing of Senate Bill 1252, a bill that there's something wrong with the mic, I'm sorry. A bill that provides I could talk loud. A bill that provides foster youth with stable housing until the age 25 while enrolled in post-secondary education. As a member of the Child and Family Strengthening Advisory Board, Ms. Burrell focuses on how she can use her personal and professional experience to change how child welfare services serve children in care. Now, as a doctoral student, Sade provides a unique perspective of the foster care system and how it impacts post-secondary education for students who experience foster care. Welcome, Sade.
All right. Give you a hug, Maria. Oh, it's an honor to be here with you. Oh, I have so much love for Maria. You all are very, very, very blessed to have her here at this institution. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you to the committee for allowing me to be here. Thank you for putting on the Parent Institute. This is absolutely amazing, phenomenal. Like, I mean, I'm as soon as I leave here, I'm texting my dean and saying, look, I need to take over CalWorks and whatever else program, because they doing it big over here, and I'm just really impressed with it. Really, really impressed. As a student, I'm telling you, this is the place to be right here, right now. I feed off energy, and I'm looking, and titles don't matter here. I've seen people who at other they would never touch anything. And I'm seeing them touch things, set up balloons, and do all these things, making sure I'm okay, making sure you're okay, etc. And for me, that lets me know that this is the spirit of this particular college. And so give yourselves a round of applause for being here and for the committee. Of course, everything I do and all of who I am, I give all honor, all glory, and thanks to God for allowing me to be here and make it safely here and not to have any traffic on my way up here. So I'm very thankful for even the small things. So as you heard from my bio, I'm an associate professor at San Diego Mesa College. I'm currently serving as the acting EOPS director right now. So as I'm here, I'm actually being the boss via text message as well. So I'm learning how to take on different leadership positions. And my question to not only myself, but to you all is, what are you reaching for? And that we have a book. However, the theme of this conference is make it happen. In order to make it happen, you first got to know what you are going after and who you are as a person, and then we can be able to take those steps to actually begin to make it happen. So I'm going to give you guys a framework to work from. I'm not only just going to be here to inspire you, or just to encourage you, but I want to give you practical framework that you can use even after you leave here, okay? So, again, who am I? These are my two children, Amara Nyanda and Mulembo Nyanda. Let me tell you his name. Mulembo Machizulu Nyanda Jr. He is a strong African man. His name means grace. My daughter, her father named her because we had this deal where, because I really, really wanted a boy. He really, really wanted a girl. He said, if it's a girl, you name her. If it's a boy, I name her. And so he named her Amara. And so according to him, her middle name means something along the lines of rainwater, rainfall, and things like that. You got to ask her when you see her, okay? Because she knows exactly what her name means. But those are my mini-me's. My daughter, she even looks even more like me, even more than what she does in this picture. In fact, when I drop her off at school, her friends always say, oh my God, you look like your mother, you know? And so I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but one of the things that I always like to describe myself as is mommy. That is what I'm called, and that is a title that I hold near and dear to my heart, mommy. And the reason why that's near and dear to me is because I understand that where I am in life who I am as a person. I'm not supposed to be here. According to statistics, which is why I'm always kind of hesitant to even read off statistics, listen to statistics, or whatever, because I understand that I'm not supposed to be here. My mother did the best she could with what she had. She grew up in LA. I don't blame her for me going in foster care, nor do I blame my father. I was watching this documentary about John Kennedy, and then his brother Robert Kennedy on Netflix, and they were talking about being in the 60s, how John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Then right after they had another brother that was assassinated. And then there was three of them. Then Robert Kennedy was assassinated, and then Martin Luther King, and shortly after that, Malcolm X. And I started to realize, I looked at my mom's ID, I said, she was born around this time. The first Watts riots, all this stuff, she was raised in that environment. She did the best she could with what she had. Right? She didn't have a parent institute. And so right now we're all doing the best we can with what we have. We're making it happen with what we currently have. And that's what I want us all to understand. However, I was introduced to another way. Someone showed me how to be a parent. What does it mean to actually be called mommy? Now me and my daughter's in 6th grade right now, so imagine how my household is. She's in 6th grade. It is not a pretty place in my house. So I'm learning that I can't be the type of parent like, you got to do X, Y, and Z. I'm learning how to be a parent where it's like, okay, well, yeah, sure, tell me about how. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, unbelievable. Unbelievable. 6th grade, y'all going through this? But that's who I am. And my son, I could do no wrong in his eyes. I can do no wrong in my son's eye. In fact, if something happened, it was your fault. My mommy ain't do nothing wrong, right? So I got the best of both worlds, and some of y'all might understand me. I got a chance to talk to Jennifer down here, and we got a chance to talk about our children, and I think that we both can agree that being called mommy is something that really describes who I am. However, you guys heard my bio. You heard that I'm an associate professor. I told you guys I'm an active EOPS director, graduated from USC, went to San Diego. I also went to San Diego State. I'm in a doctoral program right now at UCSD and Cal State San Marcos. However, that is not how it started for me. I went to community college. I didn't go to community college because I knew college was good for me. I went to community college because during that time, I didn't like the president I'm just keeping it real. I didn't like the president at that time, so I said I'm not going to go to the military until he gets out of office. Then when he get out of office, I'm going to go in. That didn't work out. I had an EOPS counselor, Nora Hensley, who came to my high school and said, hey, Sade, why don't you come to college? I said, I don't know about that. She said, well, you can wait until the president leaves, and then you come here. Sometimes we got to trick y'all into doing a little something, give you a little food and stuff like that, and have you come here. Well, that's exactly what happened to me. They tricked me into going to college, but it was the best trick of my life, So I know that ain't sound right, but don't worry about that, y'all. So my kid, this is us at USC. Let me tell you about this photo right here. This is us at USC. So it's around 2013, 2014. Worst time in my adult life. The worst. In my adult life. And so when I say it was the worst time in my adult life, what do I mean by that? I mean that not only did I decide to go to graduate school, but 2 weeks before school was getting ready to start, my divorce was getting ready to start as well. I made a decision, and I was forced into this decision to say, although I may have come from a situation that is not ideal, my parents weren't really together like that. My dad in and out of prison. He doing the best he can with what he got. They tried to make it happen, but it wasn't happening. I'm not going to keep myself in this situation. I made a decision for myself. It was the hardest decision because I also quit my job too, because the deal was you're going to take care of everything while I go to school, and then we're going to all pitch in together when I graduate. Unfortunately, life sometimes throws us a curveball, and we need to figure out a way how to hit it. And so I had to figure out, how am I going to hit this thing with a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old? They were babies. Little babies. They depended on me for everything. And you talk about going back to school again? That don't make no sense. And so as I began to enroll in school and go through the motions of traveling up to USC, and I had the Norman Toppin Scholarship, it became overwhelming for me. But I did the best I could with what I had. And I made it happen regardless. So what did making it happen look like for me? That means showing up every day, even if I didn't want to be there. And I'm going to share something personal with y'all I've never said in public. I went to court every month for 2 years. Every month, being accused of things, being assassinated, my character being assassinated. And I'm having to sit in a classroom, and the sheriff's department just got done talking to me, saying you might want to get a restraining order against this individual because this don't seem safe. And you got to put that to the side and take a stats test. How many of you have ever had to put some stuff aside and do what you need to do to make it happen? That's exactly what you're going to have to continue to do until that goal that you're reaching for is actually accomplished. See, many of you are able to relate to this story in your own way because you've been there. And some of you are currently there right now. But I'm telling you this now. The only difference between me and most people is that I don't quit no matter what. You can't quit no matter what. I was talking to Rachel, and she was saying that she is going to do healing art therapy. Healing. She said, no, not paint and sip. Heal and sip. That's what she was doing, heal and sip. You know how much healing I need to do? In this picture, you see me smiling, but let me tell you something. That was a forced smile. Anybody here had to smile in front of their kids so their kids didn't have to see the hurt? How many nights you done had to cry so your kids don't have? How many times you had to study and you going through some stuff? It wasn't always the way it is now. But I want you all to understand it's going to get better. So I want you to understand why I'm here, right? I'm here to lift you, to lace you, and to lead you into your greatness. So let me see. I'm here to lift you. That means when you leave here, your spirits need to be high. I want them to be high, and not just for a little time. I want it for a long time. I want you to continue to build upon what you're getting here. The information, the alumni that's coming, the workshop. Don't go to a workshop and sit there and say, you know what? This is good. This is really, wow, that keynote speaker really inspired me. And you don't do nothing. I want you to lift yourself up. How do we begin to lift ourselves up? First of all, you got the Parent Institute, and y'all got Maria working here. So I'm trying to figure, that's number one. Y'all got y'all had your dean up here speaking. You have a board of trustees here. Lift yourself up. How do you lace yourself up? See, everyone says you need to pull yourself up by this bootstrap. I said, well, what if I ain't got a boot? What if I don't have a boot to even put on? When I say I'm here to lace you, that means I want to infuse you with how great you are. And to lead, not for me to teach you how to lead, but for you to recognize that you are a leader within your own self. You lead your house every day. Even if you make mistakes as a parent, I started getting on myself as a parent a few weeks ago. I started reading the parenting books again. I said, okay, maybe I shouldn't be yelling as much. You know, they don't want to hear keynote speech every morning. You know, my kids don't enjoy this as much as y'all do. And so I began getting hard on myself, and I said, you know what? I'm doing it. You're doing it. Right now, you're doing it. But you have to recognize and take time to say, I'm doing it. Right now, I'm making it happen with what I have. I'm doing it. And so I'm going to get into this right here. I want to share this right here. This is a text message I literally just received. So it said, I heard, this is someone else, Bianca just told me she heard me speak in 2017 as well. This is someone from this March 16, they just sent me this. Say, I heard you speak when I was a CalWorks student at our Knoxbury Farm Care Conference. I thought you were so inspired. Now I'm an assistant director of CalWorks. I blanked out where she worked at and stuff like that. And I'm so excited to be in a different space and hear you speak again. I've been following your journey and have been contemplating my doctoral degree, and your journey has pushed me to apply for the upcoming semester. Just thought you should know your actions motivate others. That's what I'm talking about when I say you leave here and you do something. You leave here and you do. I spoke in 2017. Let me tell you, when I spoke at that conference, my brother just died of cancer 3 weeks before that. Can you imagine if I didn't show up there and told them, no, I'm sorry? I had more than 30 days to tell them, hey, I can't do it. My brother, my only brother, he was only 24 years old, died of brain cancer. While I was writing his obituary, I was writing the grant and I was writing my speech. Make it happen. Make it happen. Take action as soon as you leave here. Don't just get the feeling of inspiration. Before you get up from your seat, write down one thing you're going to do before you leave. One thing. Because this young lady is now running a CalWorks program that she used to be part of. And every day on my Instagram, I have this 4 a.m. grind. Every morning I wake up at 4 a.m. and I start studying 4:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. And then at 6:45, I take the kids to school, and I go to my job, and then on some days of the week, I got to go to class. I make it happen. And I share that journey, not because I want to say, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing, but because you don't know who's watching. Your children, not only your children are watching, I had no clue this young lady was watching me. None. So let me ask you this, what are you reaching for? We're going to take a second right now, as you hear my voice, just to think, what are you reaching for? What do I mean by what are you reaching for? That means, what is the purpose of you being here? That means, how exactly do you plan on accomplishing that? How do you plan on making it happen? But before that, remember I talked about USC and how USC impacted me. And it was a terrible time in my life. I want to go back to that time in my life where it was terrible. See, at that point in my life, when I was going through my divorce and everything, I just discovered a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, Lord, why me? You can throw me something else, another bone or something like that, Lord. Like, I was praying all kind of stuff. And so I remember when it was 2013, I was inside my house. And I remember pacing back and forth, just going back and forth and just saying, God, if you could just please send me a sign, please send me a sign. I don't know what I'm doing, the decisions that I'm making, but if you can help me and steer me in the right direction, I greatly appreciate it. You know, like I need a clear sign. Like I don't need like a bird to fly by as a sign. No, I need to hear a voice. I need to hear that I can make it happen, that I'm going to be all right. And so on that day, I went to go pick up my kids from daycare. And as I'm picking up my kids from daycare, I was crying. Just crying. The snot coming down. Y'all know when you go out and do the 3-hit, that's when you know it. That's when you know it's bad. And so I was doing that. So I got myself together, cleaned up my face real quick before I went to go get my kids, because we don't want our kids to see us like that. Let me tell you something. Sometimes it's good for your kids to see you like that every once in a while, because you don't want them growing up thinking they got to hold that stuff in. So I'm learning how to balance that out. Back then, I didn't know that. So I clean up my face. I go inside. I go pick up my kids, and my son always runs to me first. He says, Mommy, 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 gives me a hug. My daughter runs up to me. She gives me, Mommy, 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 gives me a hug. And so I said, how y'all doing? And we good, Mommy, we good. And so they get inside the car. We had just got this car. They hop inside. We had a routine. My son always sat, so the driver's side is right here, and then you got the passenger. My daughter always sat behind me. My son always sat on the opposite side because he liked looking at me. I don't know why, I guess I'm the apple of his eye, but he always liked looking at me. He always, to this day, they're assigned seat, he looks directly at me. He looks directly at me. And my daughter, she just feeling me. She like, okay, let me see how's the day gonna go today. We don't know. So my daughter is making sure my spirit is right. My son just making sure that, all of. And so as I strapped him in, I remember I strapped in my son, and I went over to my daughter, and I strapped in my daughter. I get in the driver's seat, and I put my foot on the little gas, putting it reverse, and I'm backing up. I put my hand like this, and I turn around, and I look. Daughter says to me, Mommy, you're strong. Mommy, you're strong. She was a baby. Didn't I tell you I was pacing back and forth, saying, God, if you can send me a sign, just one little sign. I said, I don't need a bird. I need to hear words. And that's when my daughter said, Mommy, you're strong. To this day, I asked her, do you remember saying that? She said, I don't remember saying that. I don't know if it came exactly from her, but I know that it was a message that I needed to hear right then and right there. And right now is the message you need to hear to keep you going so that we can figure out how you're going to make it happen. That's exactly what you need. And so, we're reaching for your purpose. Why are you here? Right? What are we doing? And then not only that, why you do what you do. When my daughter told me I was strong, I said, I know I'm here. I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this. My kids have seen me earn all of my degrees except my associate because I didn't have kids during that time, but they watched me walk across from my bachelor's and they watched me walk across from my master's. I had to make it happen. Your purpose and why you do what you do is very important. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. This is my Uncle Troy right here, y'all. So when I talk about what are you reaching for, I'm gonna get into what he told me. That's my Uncle Troy. This picture was taken at that conference that the young lady was speaking about that in 2017. My uncle came out, and let me tell y'all about Uncle Troy real quick. Uncle Troy, man, everybody got that one person in their life where they just talk. And my Uncle Troy had this thing when we were kids. He would get us in the car. We knew not to ride with Uncle Troy in the car. Because Uncle Troy was going to drive slow, and he was going to have an hour speech. And we like, man, Uncle Troy, we don't feel like hearing it today. But Uncle Troy would, however he was talking is the speed limit. He was going, cars would honk at us, honk. He didn't care. And to this day, my kids, actually, we were in LA not too long ago in February, and my kids went to go stay with my Uncle Troy. I said, did Uncle Troy have the radio on? They started laughing. They said no. Because I said, I never know if Uncle Troy radio is working. Because I've never heard him play the radio. He gets in the car, and when I was running track and field in college, he would say, let me show you, you got to get your knees up. You got to get your knees up. I said, man, you ain't never ran a day in your life. I've been watching the TV, and they all got their knees. Your knee is right here. And so that's my Uncle Troy. So we get in the car, and Uncle Troy's like, all right, look, this is what we gonna do. He always got a game plan. When I play basketball, I know some of y'all like, Sade, you a little short. How you playing basketball? I used to ball back in the day. I can't get out there no more. But my uncle will always teach me like how to shoot the jumper. My uncle was my father figure in my life. And so Uncle Troy means the world to me. And he actually gave me some of the best advice I've received today, and it inspired me to write this book. And so what are you reaching for was based off Uncle Troy in this conversation. So as you read that book, know that this story I'm telling you is exactly what that book is based off of. I went to LA because I was a Norman Toppin Scholarship recipient, and they made us all go to a retreat for like 4 days. And so my kids went to go stay with their babysitter for 4 days, and I drove up to LA, and my uncle, I said, hey, Uncle Troy, I'm having some car trouble. Can you help me out? He said, yeah, let's go run over to AutoZone. We'll take a look at it. And then we get in his car. I just told y'all, whenever you get in his car, he got a speech. He got a message. And I was like, man, I need a message at this point. It's the one time in my life I need a message. And so my Uncle Troy, he said these 3 things to me, and I'm going to get into what exactly these 3 things are. So the first thing my uncle said to me was, Sade, don't you drop out of that program. Don't you drop out of that program, he said. Let me explain to you what he meant by don't you drop out of that program. See, I'm the first one in my family to earn a college degree. Any first-generation college students in here? Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm the only one. So my uncle, when he said don't you drop out of that program, he was saying you don't get it. You might be going through a divorce, but ain't nobody here to save you. You at the highest in the family. There's nobody to save you. There's no safety net. So if you drop out of that program, referring to USC, it's over for you. Nobody can help you. And sometimes you need people to keep it honest with you. Don't you drop out of that program. And so right here, you'll see me with my son. That's my son back when he had allergies and stuff like that. He's all congested in this picture. That's my son. That's my daughter. They were watching me walk across stage, and then that's us at USC. Right before we were getting ready to walk across the stage, I took a picture at one of my uncle's house, and they didn't understand what was going on at that time. They had no idea what was going on. In fact, like my daughter had just got done cutting the front of her hair off. Like she cut her hair, And I'm like, what in the world? So that's why she got the one braid to go across the top like that to cover up the bald spot that she had just got done cutting. But they didn't understand what was going on. But do you understand that if I would have dropped out, that picture wouldn't exist? That picture wouldn't exist. I want you to envision you here with your children and then you with your end goal. That's why you can't drop out of this particular program or this college or anything at all. You need to stay in this institution. The second thing my uncle said to me was, Sade, you tried to make something grow in a season it was not supposed to grow in. You tried to make something grow in a season it was not supposed to grow in. Did you know that when you plant certain things, you absolutely have to plant it during a season where it can grow, where it can actually be harvested and it has the greatest potential? Well, sometimes we begin to plant seeds during the wrong seasons with the wrong people, entertaining them. And then we wonder why it's not growing. I just wish that it would just work out the way it's supposed to work out. How come it's not doing this? How come it's not doing that? It's either not your season or it's not your plant of fruit to be planting. And that was something I had to realize. So when my uncle said to me, you tried to make something grow in a season it was not supposed to grow in, he was a gardener at a high school in LA. And he was saying, Sade, if I don't plant this during the right season, what good is it? So I wasted my time and my energy. Now I got dirt in my nails. Some of us got dirt in our nails from going through situations. And my uncle said, why plant it? And the last thing my uncle said to me, this is the third thing that he said to me. He said, you're reaching for crumbs when there's a cake in front of you. You're reaching for crumbs when there's a cake in front of you. Now, many of us will walk in a room and we'll see a crumb on the ground. Not now person did I see pick up a crumb off this ground. Not one person, myself included. But had there been a big piece of paper or something that we could see, we would have picked it up. It's because we shouldn't focus on the small, minor things that aren't going to even get us to where we need to go. We need to focus on the things that are going to get us where we need to go. So let me break this down. Let me give y'all the framework for this. I'm going to give y'all the framework. You're reaching for crumbs when there's a cake in front of you. The goal, how we make it happen. The plan, that is the cake. College, your education, whether you're earning a certificate, whether you're earning a degree, whatever it is, transferring, that is the cake. The cake is your goal. The crumbs are the bunch of distractions. It's everything. You got crumb people. People don't like what I say. They say, Sade, stop saying that. No, it's some crumb people in this world. It's some crumb people. And we need to stop entertaining them. We need to stop entertaining. The other day, matter of fact, yesterday, before I even came, yesterday, I was talking to someone, and they said, Sade, I don't ever see you anymore. I said, my kids barely see me, and they with me every day. I said, I'm in school. I'm a single parent. I'm doing X. I'm doing Y, Z. I said, you know what? We only been friends for a year anyways. Everybody else who knows me, they know that the cake right now for me is being a great mother and graduating. That's my cake. Any other thing are crumbs. Focus on your goal. What is your goal? What are you reaching for? Are you reaching for crumbs or are you entertaining a cake? And that is what let me give y'all, I'll keep going. The results. I showed y'all that picture. This picture right here, I was just telling Kaden and them that this is me and my family in Cartagena, Colombia. This is us in Cartagena, Colombia last matter of fact, in June, last June, in July. Now we're getting ready to go to Peru. We're going to go to Peru, be able to see Machu Picchu, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. And so to be able to go from this right here at USC, when I was focusing on crumbs, I released the crumbs, and I'm reaching for cake, y'all. Why can this not be you and your children? There's nothing special about me at all. There's nothing. And why can't, the first thing I see when someone has something I want, I say, why can't I have that? You get dressed the same way I get dressed. Ain't nobody walking here without, everyone got dressed. You got to put on a shirt the way I do. You got to put on pants the way I do. You got to put on a dress the way I do. You got to get dressed the same way I do. Why can I not have it too? And that's what you should be asking yourself too. There's nothing special about me. I think Bianca was telling me that she wanted to be a speaker. Why can't she be here next year speaking on this stage? Why can she not be here next year speaking on the stage? As an alumni, she came here and she told me, she seen me in 2017 too. I said, no problem. Let's get you prepped to be at the 2nd Annual Parent Institute as a speaker. There's no difference. So let me keep it going because I want to give y'all the framework so y'all can, but before I get to that, your pain didn't come as an assassin. It came as an assignment. See, we always think everything is there to kill us. Oh, they hating on me. Oh, don't nobody want to see me succeed. Oh, it ain't there to, maybe that thing's an assignment. Did you understand the assignment? I understood the assignment. Did you understand the assignment that was assigned to you? Y'all know how it is. When I give my class a syllabus, the first thing I say to them, you need to read this. You need to read this so that you can understand the assignment. I can always tell who read it and who didn't. When it's time to do the assignment, they don't know what's going on. And so they think, Professor, you don't want me to pass your class. Brother, I want you to pass the class because I don't want you appealing my grade. I want you to pass 100%. However, things that we think are there to kill us are actually there as an assignment. An assignment should be completed, turned in, and moved forward. All right, so Sade, what if I don't know what I'm reaching for? Look, I don't know, Sade. I'm just here. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, Sade, so I don't know what's going on. How am I supposed to? The first thing I want you to do is I want you to identify your strengths. Ask those who are close to you. Identify your strengths. So if I said what comes easy to you, that you don't even have to think about it, that's a strength. I can talk all day. No problem, right? I know for a fact I'm not an organized person at all. So that don't fall on my list. What do you do that are your strengths? People think that school is my strength. That is not my strength. Why? You think I wake up at 4 a.m. because I like to wake up at 4 a.m.? I wake up at 4 a.m. because I need special attention. And I know. I had an IEP in high school. And I know that I was part of DSPS when I was in community college. When I went to SDSU, I didn't need as much support. When I went to USC, I didn't need as much support. However, that's because by that time I learned how to actually deal with my challenges that I had with learning. It's very hard. If you give me a piece of paper right now, it'd be hard for me to read publicly. So I know that if you want me to read publicly, I need a 3-day notice, because that's how I am. So that's not my strength. However, I know my strength, and then I need you to experience life. You gotta live. Take your kids out to the park. Do something that's adventurous. It does not have to be expensive. For me, I live in San Diego. I can drive to Balboa Park, and it's a bunch of free stuff to do. And then at that time, when I didn't have any income, I was low income. I took advantage of every low income thing. I was not ashamed at nothing. I swipe my EBT card and keep it pushing, proudly putting my pen. I had no problem. Because, thank you. You know what? Only at this college will I get clapped for my EBT card. I love it. Only at this college. I love it. Yeah. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Man, because I had to experience life. You understand what that card did for me? It allowed me to cook food for my kids I otherwise wouldn't have been able to cook. Now, y'all know y'all be getting some crab legs. You know, everyone does when that first. Yeah, you understand? You hear what I'm saying? But you got to live in order to know what your purpose is. You got to get out there. Bring your kids here. I always take my kids to college campuses. Well, every time we travel, we go to college campuses. Let them play in the grass around here. Let them get accustomed to this environment. The second thing I want you to do is I need you to read more books. People are like, Sade, that's so simple. No, I met with my dissertation committee, one of them, Dr. Vargas, and he said to me, I was at a leadership meeting, and he said, Sade, he's not my chair, he's on my committee. He said, Sade, I got a bunch of books here. He's getting ready to retire. He said, I'm saving them for you. And he said something that touched my heart. He said, I'm getting ready to retire, but I'm saving them for you because you're special. And so I'm going to take all these books. I'm going to read them. One, because he's taking time out of his day to give me these books. I'm going to read them all. And what I envision is being able to come to events such as this and give them out to other people, because I believe that each and every one of you are special. So although I don't have his books to give to you, I hope each and every one of you obtain my copy of my book, and I'm going to sign it for you because each and every one of you are special. I need you to read the book, not because it's my book. I promise you, don't read nothing because I'm not on that. It's because it's the same framework I use to help me get to where I am. And look at all these amazing people that we have here. Ask them, what did you do? Reading books is actually how I began to come out of some of the academic challenges that I had and that I still have. Reading is what allowed me. If you don't have the money to travel to Cartagena, Colombia, don't worry. I want you to read a book about it. Because my kids have to read books before we go anywhere. You want to go to Peru? We got to read about that. Listen more than you speak. Oh, child, I'm learning that myself right now, so I can't even speak too much on that. All right? But I'm learning as I listen. I got a chance to talk to some of the students. I was listening more than I was speaking to them. And I want you to donate your time by being a mentor to your children first. And then the other come after you get yourself together. People ask me all the time, can I be your mentor? I say, I got 2 kids right now who I mentor right now. I always tell them, however, if I have several social media platforms and I can be your unofficial mentor. I got a bunch of those. And let me show you guys something. These are my kids. My kids wrote a book too. They got a book called We Are Grateful. Let me give y'all the history behind the book. They didn't just write a book because they want to be scholars or anything like that. They wrote a book because they got in trouble. And they got in trouble. What happened was they were being extremely ungrateful. I was like, I done X, Y, and Z to make sure you done had this life. Anybody have kids and you out of your mind. I'm sitting here going to school, trying to provide a better life for us. And you acting like this. So I tell my kids, I said, when you leave the house, please act like you got some common sense. Every once in a while they don't. And so that one day they decided they didn't want to have any common sense. And so they came in the house. And so I said, you know what? I'm not about to be hooping and hollering. Y'all need to write an essay. Y'all need to write an essay on everything you're grateful for in your life. Everything that you are grateful for and why you are grateful for those things. Because here's what I'm learning when it comes to parenting, y'all. You gotta parent smarter, not harder. Everybody talk about, you gotta work smarter, not hard. I like working hard. I enjoy working hard. Matter of fact, after here, I'm driving back down to my job because I like working so hard. I just enjoy it. I love working hard. So you say it's an easier way to do it. I like doing it. But when it comes to parenting, hold on. I want to work smarter because I know I don't have a lot of patience. So how do I work smarter? Oh, okay. So you thought it was okay to hit your brother upside the head with this. Tell me more about that. That's them social work skills coming out. That's me working smarter because now I'm trying to understand psychology. Out of me becoming a better parent came a book. My son likes drawing pictures, so he began drawing the pictures to the book. And then we put pictures of images of people who look like them on the cover. That's a replica of my son and my daughter. And the reason why they created that book is because when I told them, I said, y'all need the income at this point. Y'all need to contribute to the household in some way, somehow. But the real reason that they did this book was really because that's what they're around. They're around that energy. They come to events like this and they see me talk to people. They see me write books. They see me when I'm up at 4 a.m. in the morning. They see that and they want to copy that. What image are you leaving to your children? We talk about making it happen. How are you showing your kids how to make it happen? How are you showing yourself how to make it happen? Every day. When my uncle said you're reaching for crumbs when there's a cake in front of you, what he meant was if you stay focused, you'll reap the harvest that you've planted. It took many years for me to get to where I am right now. Many years to get to where I am right now. And so one of the things that I like to do is I don't like to speak and leave. That's just not my style. Unfortunately, I can't be everywhere at all times. So what I've done is I've created a movement. You can follow me on all my social media channels so that we can begin to go through this journey together. Feel free to inbox me. Feel free to contact me. Feel free to email me, and we can learn how to make it happen. How do I make it happen every day? I mimic behaviors. My children are authors because they mimic my behavior after they got in trouble. But they mimic behaviors. My mother mimicked a behavior. My father mimicked a behavior. I mimic behaviors. And so I want to leave you all with this message right here. Let us make it happen today. From this day forward, we do not take assignments and throw them out the window. Instead, we take the assignment, we do the assignment because we understand the assignment, because we're reaching for the cake. We're not entertaining crumb people, crumb environments, or crumb situations anymore. And so with that being said, my name is Sade Burrell. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you, Sade. Let me see. Wendy, okay, thank you so much. Can we have another round of applause for Sade? Let's see. I know I have a card in here. We don't know how to thank you. I know to offer our sincerest thank you for delivering your message of hope and making it happen, Sade.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Love
thank
you very much.
Oh, look, I just talked about plants, so thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. That's beautiful. I cried a little. Okay. So, Sade, thank you again for your motivating words. And I would like to remind all the participants that you did get a copy of her book. And if you didn't, just come see us outside. Okay? So next on our agenda is a workout, the workshop breakout sessions. There are 2 sessions, so session A and session B. Session A starts at 10:35. I know we're a little, maybe 10:40 now. And it's going to be up in the building right north of us. So it's not a big walk. You could take an elevator. And we have 3 rooms, so refer to your program, page 3 and 4 has all the descriptions of the presenters. So we have 3 workshops and they will be repeated. So you could do 1 workshop, 1 session, and then transfer to the other session. So look at page 3 and 4. After the sessions are over, please join us at lunch, the same place where we had breakfast, and then we'll eat. And about 1, come back in here, make 12:55, make your way back in, and we'll have our alumni panel ready to go. Okay? So enjoy them, learn, ask questions, make friends, and drink some water because it's really hot outside. Thank you. Put the volume. Can you put the volume?